We're here to talk about the Kyren Lacy arrest and the evidence that's come to light, showing that was innocent of the vehicular homicide that he was arrested for. Dale, we got Bobby in the house, and we're gonna break this thing down from what was just released to the public on Friday. So Kyren Lacy's attorney went on a local Baton Rouge, news station, HTV, and they did a whole interview explaining the evidence that they had and how he was planning on defending him and just everything about this. And it's alarming how bad the stories were before all this evidence came to light. Was said that Kyren Lacy was the reason for the accident. And it was also said he came back to the scene and didn't render aid. It painted him in such a different light than the evidence actually shows.
Yep. It was, being from this area and the accident happening literally 5 minutes from my house.
Mm-hmm.
It was very interesting to see the different sides in which people took, not simply just because of who he was, but because of what they thought happened based off of the initial police reports.
Yes. And we're going to see how the initial police reports actually got to be so bad as well. So let's go to the video of the actual accident. And this is straight from HTV 10. And the voice that you're going to hear is Kyren Lacy's attorney. So let's go to this.
Yeah, so what you'll see is in the top left of the screen, you're going to see multiple cars just making their way south to Thibodaux, coming from Vacherie. At some point in time, you're going to see the collision, which we're going to know is vehicle number 2 from oncoming traffic colliding with the vehicle of Mr. Hall. You will see another vehicle come to a stop, and then you'll see Kyren Lacy come to a stop.
So as we've seen the video.
So I don't understand how anybody that gave any kind of statement to the officer said that the accident had something to do with this green Charger.
Yeah. So I believe his attorney further into that video actually goes into and says that Kyren was passing cars in a no pass zone further down the road.
Yes.
But he was back into his lane by the time of that accident, which you can see because he came to a stop. And then further in the video, you see that he goes around the accident and continues southbound to come to Thibodaux.
Yes.
Yeah.
Yes,
and
exactly.
There's no video that shows that he came back to said scene either.
Yeah. I don't want to say how all these rumors like started and got on the internet or whatever, man. It was ridiculous the amount that was out there. It really was. So the next video is going to show the body cam footage of the officer getting a statement from the person in the oncoming lane and get their story.
So look, don't worry about filling any of this top information, like your name, your address. Don't worry about any of that. Just right here, if you could, I'll just have you write exactly what you saw. Just make sure to include, where you were.
I don't even know what the name of that highway.
It's Highway 20. Highway 20. That you just.
All right, maybe my wife gonna figure out right quick.
Okay, just make sure you add in there that you had to slam on your brakes and the brakes, you had to slam on the brakes to avoid that charger and the brakes locked up to avoid that charger. That's.
I ain't skid mark or nothing. I wouldn't even gone for it. That lady in the back of me, she didn't show what's happening. That's how she called that record. She was running in the back of me. She pulled on the other side, and that's not in it.
So, but the charger was coming right at you, correct? And that's why you had to
Head
slam
on
on your
with
brake, the head on with you. So yeah, just make sure you include that, and that's very important because we're trying to locate this charger right now. So just include that in the statement, and I'll read it over, and then I'll be out of here.
In that video, you can clearly hear the suggestive nature indicating that I need you to say that you had to slam on your brakes and you had to avoid a charger.
Okay, just make sure you add in there that you had to slam on your brakes and the brakes.
So that was the worst part about that video, the extremely suggestive nature on which the police was telling the witness to write down their story. Also, what came to light during this interview from Lacy's attorney is the statement that this police officer obtained was refused to be signed by the witness.
Right. Yeah. It said that they refused 100%.
So I don't know how common it is for an accident report to be refused to be signed by somebody, but if this was the evidence you took to get him arrested, that is terrible.
Yeah. So I'm thinking the route that he went was, and this is obviously me just trying to put two and two together because we don't know, what said officer was thinking about, right? Again, let's go back to the video where Kyren went around the accident. At that point, the incoming car may have had to slam on their brakes because he was going around the accident, but it wasn't because of the accident. You know what I mean? When I say that, he wasn't the cause of the accident for it to actually happen. They may have, hey, car's coming, let me slow down real fast because he's coming around whatever happened, but he wasn't the cause of the accident. And his verbiage is very particular there because he's like, make sure you do this, because if you don't do this, then it's not, I can't do anything with it. So I need you
all the story don't line up.
Yeah, exactly. For my story and your story as the witness to come apart, I need you to actually put this into it. So they did it all, and then said witness still said, you know what, I'm not signing this. It's not worth it for me.
Yes. The guy does clearly state the lady in the back of me, she swerved to avoid me before it hit me. She the one that caused the accident.
Correct.
That was clear as day. He said that.
Right. Yeah. I mean, I don't know. And the thing about it, I think the hardest part I'm having with getting my head around all of this is, why did this take this long to get out? Yeah.
So I do wonder if they had this evidence in hand, videos, all that kind of stuff, and did Kyren see it?
Right. Or did his attorney even see it to tell him, hey, look, we have this. Just hold on, because when we go to court, I got some good stuff that we can cover. And you're good. Yes, and I don't know if he did, because I feel had Kyren known that, he may still be here. You know what I mean?
Right.
So I don't know that this evidence was public knowledge to both parties.
Yeah, man, it's terrible. The Louisiana State Police did release this statement. Investigative findings revealed that Mr. Lacy reckless driving while approaching oncoming traffic led to the events of the crash. The findings were presented to the 17th Judicial District Court, which approved an arrest warrant based on the evidence collected. As with all investigations leading to arrest subjects, the investigation are presumed innocent until proven guilty in the court of law. So that's the big deal there. It really is a shame. The lawyer did say, 48 hours before the going up against the grand jury, that's when Kyren Lacy committed suicide. And it seemed like he was just in a really bad spot, because the details we got about suicide was him pretty much threatening his family to either give him the keys to his car so he can go commit suicide, or he gonna shoot a gun right here in front of everybody to commit suicide, and it was no other way around it.
Yeah, man, and I'll add two parts of this. So with the Louisiana State Police report, the Lafourche Parish District Attorney then released another statement after that, because now everybody was going after the district attorney at this point, and they said, no, we didn't believe anything from this report. Therefore, we did our own investigation, and based off the information that we found is where we currently are. That Kyren Lacy was behind the accident, that he did not cause it, and they wanted to not only clear their name, but also clear his name in the process.
Yeah.
Because they didn't believe anything that was coming off. And I'm assuming that's because they were able to see the body cam, the footage from the actual wreck, everything that we're seeing now, they had been able to see, since it happened. So they were able to then turn around and do their own investigation. And then fast forward to the moment, 48 hours before he was indicted to go before the jury. This kid is, I don't know. I call him a kid, young because he's younger than me. But this young man, I couldn't imagine the weight that was on him.
Yeah, man.
And reading everything and seeing everything that was being said about, and regardless of what he said, no one believed him.
Yes.
Like, I'm sure his family believed him, and I know they did. Like, let me rephrase that. They did believe him, but for the rest of the world to say something totally different about him, and to say, no, you definitely did this because this is what they said. This is what they said was going on. You would have stayed if you were to call, about whatever. This is the decision that he had to take, because he felt that this was the only way it could be better for not only himself, but for his family. Yes. And it's a shame. And we could take football out of it, and we could take all of the other things out of it. We could just talk about the life of a young man is now gone and can never be replaced because of social media, because of the judgment of the world. So my encouragement to everybody who's listening to this, or anybody who will listen to this, do not be so quick to judge. They always say prove innocent until proven guilty. This is the perfect case of prove innocent until proven guilty. This young man deserves to be here, regardless of football or not. He deserved to live his life further than what he did.
Yes, absolutely. Tragedy on both sides, absolutely. Tragedy. He got arrested and charged with this, and ultimately killed himself. Tragedy for Mr. Brown that died in the accident itself. But yes, definitely. And I want to know what's going to end up happening to the lady that ended up causing the accident. Are we going to see arrests being made for her? I assume insurance situations have already happened and changed hands and all this kind of stuff. What's going to happen with that too? I'm curious about the whole thing.
What's going to happen with the police officer that made a false report?
Absolutely. What's going to happen with that?
And look, I don't want, and I'm going to say this as kindly as I can. I don't want anybody to lose a life. I don't want anybody to make quick judgments off of this, but I do want to see justice come because of this, whatever it is, whatever that looks like. I'm not going to be the guy that comes out here and says, hey, I want this guy fired today and I need him to, not have a job, whatever, because all that's already going out there, right? We've learned, let's let the process be the process.
Yes, absolutely.
And I think that's what we have to even be cautious of, even in these moments, and not let our emotions get the best of us, and not let's get heated in the moment. But let's trust now. If the process fails us, which it has before, if the process fails us, then we can get loud and make some noise at that point. But until then, let's just take a step back. Let's continue to pray for his family as they learn this information as well, because this is information that they didn't know until yesterday as well. And let's see what happens.
Yes, absolutely. Absolutely. So I think we can wrap up with hey, rest in peace, Kyren Lacy.
Yes, sir.
Absolutely.
Rest in peace. And again, his mom and dad are, and his family and all of his friends. You know, I even seen neighbors released a statement today, and some of the other guys that he played with have released statements from it. And there's a lot of people hurting because of this. So let's just be kind to one another. How about that?
Yes. Yes. Please be kind.